more family secrets have been revealed. Let's talk about them.
And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I'm going up on my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What,
Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Season 2, Episode 13 of Greenleaf. Like I said, there is more family secrets that have actually been revealed in this episode, and we are going to talk about them. But let's just go from the beginning here. We start right back up. We got Carissa. She's met up with Bishop and Lady May, and she has spilled all the beans at this point. She is told everything that she knows about Basie and the misappropriation of the funds. She's actually brought the books and actually showed the proof, this, that, thing, and the other. And her whole thing was, you know, Bishop and Lady May are like, this is perfect. This is perfect. We're going to go, I'm going to go over, I'm going to threaten him with the police and him going to jail and all of that. And we're going to get this taken care of. So Carissa's whole thing, she's like, well, and she says, and I want Jacob to be put in charge of Triumph. So they're like, of course, that's no problem. So they're like, yeah, girl, yeah. And they get her on out the house, and then May looks over and tells Bishop, and of course, Triumph will become a part of Calvary at that point. I said, boy, y'all are doing some dirty, dirty dealings. I said, Talking about when the dust settles. I said, girl, the dust ain't never going to settle, honey. I don't know why these people who are so into the Lord think that the Lord don't see all the dirty dealings that you do. But I'm just saying, he sees you, honey. Anyway, let's talk about Jabari and Charity. So Charity goes back down. She's in Nashville. She's working on a song for, what's her name? Jacqueline Carr, I think is her name. She's a gospel singer. She's a real gospel singer. And she's like she's young and she hit it real big. So they got her on the show. And so Charity's supposedly writing a song for her. And she's just up in the air about what's going on with her and Jabari, you know, as it is. So when Jacqueline comes in, Jacqueline has all these different things she wants done with this song. And she was writing on it with a red ink pen and this, that, the other. And I want this, just everything changed. Charity was getting in her feelings, okay? So Charity got bothered at the fact that Jabari wasn't coming to her rescue or coming to her defense. And he was just basically dealing with her like she was a customer and saying, okay, no problem. Yeah, we'll make that change. No problem. He's trying to sell the song. I understood where Jabari was coming from. Charity was just in her feelings and on some old whatever she was on. I'm like, girl, sit down. Before Jacqueline had even got there, she said to Jabari, you know, you don't have to do me like you do other artists. And when you have me come in, send me to a hotel, that's wasted money. If you have a guest room, I can stay there. I said, really? And then guess what? Busted wide open. You ain't slick, Charity, if you don't sit down. Go find your husband. Where's your husband at? That's what you need to be worrying about. Not trying to bust it open for Jabari that I didn't think wanted it anyway. So after that little meeting, he comes back and he said, you know, and that was the icing on the cake, was when he's like, okay, and Jacqueline was like, okay, well, let's go. Let me go. And he took and hugged her and kissed her on the cheek the same way he kissed Charity on the cheek, baby. She was hot. She was hot. I said, girl, you playing yourself. And then she basically in person told him, what's going on with you and I? Like, do you like me? Or what is going on? And he's like, of course I like you, but we're not going to talk about that now. We are working. Let's work on this, get the song together, and then we'll talk about you and I later. I said, oh, girl, you didn't. So I was waiting on that conversation. Well, when they finally did have the conversation, he told her, I do like you, but you have a son. And I wasn't trying to run and jump into anything that was so involved and all of that and don't know what my place is. I just didn't want to disrespect your union and what you got going on. Then he told her, but I do like you. And then he went up in her mouth, honey. Up in her mouth. I said, So, Jabari, I guess Jabari's not shady. Jabari was just being cool. Well, now it's going to be on and popping. So I said, oh, okay, that's interesting. Anyway, so let's go back over to the Greenleafs and that. Bishop ran up on Basie and basically told Basie, you know, this is it. You're caught. We know what's going on. You are either going to do some things and I'll help you out of this little problem you in. And it'll be what it is. He told him, you trying to blackmail me? Old man, I ain't feeling it. And you can get on up out of my church right now. Get out. He talked bad to Bishop and put Bishop out. Bishop was like, that's all right. You're going to go to jail then. That's all. He's like, whatever. Get out of my church. Threw him out. A little bit after that, the little thug guy we saw come back to the office again. This time he ain't coming to do no talking. Baby, he came in. He was walking in, walking heavy and hard. Next thing you know, we went to commercial. When we came back, Basie's ass was tore up. Tore up. He tore him up. He beat him off on his forehead and shit. I said, oh, poor Basie. He beat Basie down. So then we see Basie with his wife, and his wife is like, oh my God, why don't you just stop this, that, and the other, and all this. And then she was bothersome. She irritated me. But she ended up going to Bishop. Tasha Skanks went to Bishop and told Bishop, you know, what was basically going on. Well, Bishop, she didn't go to Bishop. She went to Carissa to talk and confide in Carissa. And Bishop was at Carissa's house. So Bishop was like, let me help you. But what was really irritating me is she was like, they beat him and they messed up his beautiful face. I never got that Skanks was beautiful. Like Basie, he ain't bad looking, but his beautiful face. Girl, who you thought you was dating? Prince, honey? I said, girl, he's no I'll be sure or anything like that. He just high yellow. I ain't seen nothing that was so great. High yellow with some good hair, honey, or what should be classified as good hair, honey. I said, look like it's getting thin out. Whatever. I didn't get it, but yeah, she was real hung up on. They beat him in a beautiful face. I said, yeah, they did. They beat him down. Beat him down. So Bishop said, let me help you. This is what we're going to do. So he presented him with what he wanted to do. And she went back to Basie and told him, what you're going to need to do is you need to step down gracefully. And after some convincing, Basie decided to do that. But the way that everything was going to go, he wasn't going to get out of the jail time. Okay. So he was still going to have to step down, give the church to Jacob, and still go to jail for some time, but it would be lesser time than if they have to come and chase him and all of this. He's going to admit to the wrong, you know, get a plea and, you know, do all that. So it's like, okay, cool. No problem. So we go through the whole thing. We go through the whole ceremony where they sang and did all this and they turned everything over to Jacob and all of that. And then at the end of it, we see Tasha Skanks sitting in Basie's office. Pastor and First Lady, May, end up going into the office and they're like, well, what's going on? Where's Basie? He done ran off. And they're like, well, why didn't you go with him? And she's like, I told him I wasn't going to do that. I just wasn't going to do that. I begged him to stay. He done ran off. I said, oh, mess. Absolute mess. So going to be interesting to see what actually happens with that. Right when all of that went on, then Bishop's phone rang. And when Bishop answers the phone, it's Lionel. And he tells Bishop, we need to talk. And we need to talk face to face immediately. I said, oh, shit. What that happened. So I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if it's about his dealings with May in the past. His son's dealings with their son-in-law. Because we ain't seen Kevin. Where's Kevin? I said, child, Lionel better not tell me that Kevin and his son is there together, honey, living happily ever after. I said, So I don't know. But we'll see next week. Okay, 2 more things. In the midst of all of that, Isaiah and Zora. See, now Isaiah's a little different than his dad. Like Isaiah got all beat up. Isaiah don't be getting beat up. Isaiah's an ass whooper, okay? His dad should be more like him. He was being him, you know, and he is just where he just wants what he wants, and that's that. And when Zora does not give him what he wants, he is going to punish her. He is just absolutely that dude. We're talking about the cotillion. He ain't got no suit or nothing together for the cotillion. So a couple days later, she brings it up again. He tells her, look at the glove compartment. They were traveling. Look at the glove compartment. And he always fussed. They showed like him fussing. I say, here we go with symbolism. Him fussing at her about not wearing her seatbelt. She didn't have her seatbelt on. He told her, look at the glove compartment. I got a surprise for you. Here he is, a concert that he's doing this same exact weekend as the cotillion. He says, well, I just figured we could do this instead. She's like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm going to the cotillion. He says, well, if I'm not going to be here, who are you going to go with? She said, well, I'll find some guy to go with. Baby, he slammed on them brakes and gave her for him. What you go? Up against the dashboard, baby. And she was nodding. I said, oh, he's petty. Petty. He banged her good, baby. She went in there with some Chanel No. 5, honey, and she had her bruises. I said, girl, you are learning fast, bad habits and putting them to work, honey. You don't need to be at this age covering that marks. You need to get away from Isaiah. Isaiah needs to teach his dad something because his dad got his ass whooped and his dad didn't know how to cover up his wounds, honey. I said, oh, but he tore her up. He said, slam on them brakes. She came, bam. I said, oh, shit. And she's still running behind. I said, Zora, you're an idiot. But anyway, so that went on. Okay, and let me tell you, that's one of the little family secrets I was talking about. And here's the other family secret. We found out in this episode that Mac actually did try to molest Gigi before he got to Faith. And Gigi was feeling guilty. She's been feeling guilty because she never said anything. And it's on her spirit that had she said something, then maybe he would have gotten in trouble before he ever got the chance to get to Faith. She actually admitted it outwardly to Darius. And really, you know, they got to kind of work through it. It's like, there was nothing you can do, baby. It was what it was. It worked the way it was supposed to work because that's the workings of a pedophile. You know, you weren't supposed to be able to figure it out at that young age, but it was a mess. So I said, I always thought that he actually had got her. And I was wondering if that was going to come out. But yeah, he tried to do her. I said, that Mac, he was a monster. He really, really was. He was a monster. Anyway, but that was it. Next week is sure to be really, really interesting. I can't wait to see what Lionel has to say. But that's it. I'll see you guys then. Later.